Susubukan natin ang fire casting for this game.
10 seconds remaining.
Actually, lagi naman, no? Lagi naman tayong fire. Ang pinaka-fair na caster.
Dire team ban.
Pinaka-seryosong caster.
For Optic, they remove the Omni. Hero that
Alisin mo yung mukha mo, Badman.
One game, Omni Knight comes out, destroys his state. Hero again.
Oh, I like that puck ban a lot.
Disruptor?
Still the Lash though.
Okay, so we were correct on that.
Yeah.
It's a decent assumption because you can be flexible about it.
Right?
Yeah.
You can still do 2. You can 5. Match up well.
But you guys like the core Lash more against PR.
I personally like the core Lash, right?
10 seconds remaining.
But the key here is like it's like 7 to 3 for me. You could put it 70-30. Like you could put. I think it's most likely mid, but if you need to adjust because of the next pick from Optic or the next 2 picks, like you're okay. You can do that. I like the puck ban, by the way, because of the in response, like TNC bans DK, which is one of the better heroes in lane and in game because of the instant stun and the range stun, plus the brief fire and the regen makes it so that the matchup is okay.
It's an AoE.
Yeah.
Radiant team.
Disruptor.
Despite what I said earlier.
They need a front line. I might prefer Underlord a little more because of the illusions of TL. You have Firestorm against that.
Oh, SK.
Sand King. So
they've run this before.
So Sand
at this
King
event
is their off lane, more or less.
With Lesh as a support.
Unless they're doing some Naga off lane.
10 seconds
the fourth match that they've played with the Lesh rack, and they've won all the previous 3 here at
5
DAC as well.
seconds
So, do you
remaining.
feel like that makes it?
Radiant team.
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
how they've run it the previous 3.
Oh, this is the hero that
Naga counter.
Yeah, and they beat, who was it? It was like Newbie? Is that they beat? Well, they beat one of the Chinese teams, Newbie or LGD, with Clockwork offlane.
And you have the synergy with the
10
Pango. You call and
remaining.
you just destroys whoever's inside.
5 seconds.
I mean, it's not like a big deal, but it's something.
Does it just go like ding 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 ding?
You can far end of the out of the clock, but
Okay.
you're in the middle of the clock.
I think you're screwed. Yeah.
You're screwed. You just get bounced back and forth.
That's hilarious.
Dire
So
team ban.
you really have to.
You straight up
Positioning is real.
get pinball machined?
Yeah, like if you're ever in a situation where you know you're gonna get hit by a Pango, always position yourself like next to a cliff.
Yeah.
That way you can at least get knocked over.
Oh,
You have
so
a
what
better
is
chance.
that?
10 seconds
I think that's a mid gyro,
remaining.
considering the bands.
Yeah,
5 seconds
the OD
remaining.
matches
Yeah.
up pretty well.
Things are still. They'll see Optics pick first, anyways.
I personally like it more on Raven. So, but like you said, it's probably gonna just be based on who gets the better matchup since he's flexible anyways, and they have the final pick here. So Optic has to assume the pie cut here. Do you think they might have a chance of running the PL as a carry and pick a good matchup in mid?
Yeah. I think that's the key to the PL here, is that they've left it entirely open. And TNC thinks it's a carry. And
I do like the fact as well that they've taken away the Gyro, the Terrorblade, and the Dragon Knight away from Optic, which are the 3 most played heroes at DAC other than Sand King, which they've also taken away.
Yeah. They're hedging their bets, like they're not certain. Like you can see that they're not certain either. Because after the PL gets picked, they ban 2 from each, right? They ban 2 safe laners, 2 mid laners.
I mean, their lineup seems a bit like the opening seems a bit weird. That's why I feel like it's not easy to like piece the puzzles together.
Yeah.
And with the Clockwork, do you think that the Pango is the core, or the Clockwork is the core, and which one is the support? Is Zai more likely gonna play the Pango?
Just based off of what?
And because it's a good clockwork game against Gyro, Naga, and the Lash, so you want clockwork to have more.
I would love off-lane clock just because.
Don't you hate playing under like a 4-position clock? Don't you hate playing against like heroes like Sand King? Because you can't do anything.
Yeah, but for Pango as well, you could make the same argument. Pango as a support, it's not that easy to do a lot in the game.
That makes it more likely, I guess.
I don't know, man. They have this Lone Druid hero and PL hero. These two heroes are, I would say, same category hero. They require a lot of farm. They are 2 position 1 heroes in the game. It's different if you compare to TNC. They have this Gyro, even though he's kind of like a position 1 hero, but he can be played like how VP plays it. He runs around, creates tempo. He just does not play like a position 1. He just sacrifices himself and creates space for the other hero. But for PR and Lone Druid, they're kind of not heroes that can do that. One hero wants to farm a Radiance. The PR wants to get to his diffusal before he wants to fight. So those 2 heroes are not going to be able to fight, save for the first 10-15 minutes of the game.
What about PA here?
PA
Sinking Razor.
To fight. So those 2 heroes are not going to be able to fight, save for the first 10-15 minutes of the game.
I just wanted somebody that could jump and get a BKB. I feel like once it gets B Fury, it'll be... Because Optic's lineup is a little bit greedier, and PA just lets you fight, but who knows? Oh, they take Timber.
Yeah, Timber against Lone Druid and PR. That's a really good pick here. And they were kind of lacking like a front line, I would say. I think Gyro is like he's in between the fights. Same goes for Sand King's gonna be behind, waiting for a jump. So Timber will provide them with that.
Zai Pango.
Yep.
But he's going to take the clock instead. Okay, draft done.
Dude, I feel like
pick the bones out of this.
Not a big fan of what Optic did here in this game. I think they did what we discussed. I think they're being too greedy in this game with the drafts. So very difficult for me to side them. I'm going to go with TNC.
Yeah, I think like CCNC. Look how much AOE. Flash Rat, Gyrocopter, Timber Saw, like that poor guy, I'm not sure if he's going to have much of a game. A lot of high cat. Done it before, but I'm still going to go for
Yeah, TNC.
Okay, mildly concerned.
You weirded out that Blitz agreed with him?
I kind of am. Normally it doesn't work. We normally don't get any agreement from Blitz at all, but all 3 of them have gone for TNC this time around. Is it a one-sided match or not? Let's head to the arena and find out as Dream Green goes head-to-head with the boys in orange.
Thank you very much, Red Eye. Yes, best of 1 now between TNC and Optic Gaming. I'm ODPixel, I'm here with Fog. This should be an exciting one. We've got some fun old heroes. We have the Pangolier.
We do.
But nonetheless, overall, the panel are heavily favoring TNC's lineup this time.
You know, you look at it and you see TNC, they've got a lineup where it's all about that aggression, and that's where they've been thriving. They have very limited cooldowns. The only real one is like Sand King, Epi, and Naga Sleep, but they're not looking to really use those in the early game until they get like Blink Tag on the Sand King. Everything else is just going to be run at you. And this PL, CCNC has got a world of hurt for him. There's a Leshrac, there's a Sand King, there's a Gyro, there's a Timber. All these heroes, they can do quite well versus the PL unless the PL gets to the later stage and gets absolutely enormous. So I'm definitely feeling a bit concerned. Optic going for a very greedy route versus TNC, a very aggressive team that likes to punish these greed approaches.
The Optic Gaming with this sort of lineup are hoping for the fact that even if they do get behind, they're going to be able to sort of split the lanes out with this lone druid, sort of play the game to a point where we have seen TNC sort of find their weakness sometimes, where they do get an advantage, they can't end it. Optic Gaming, they have got ways to really keep the game going, even if behind.
They don't really have the greatest wave clear though on Optic either. That's the concern as well for me. Like they're lacking some team fight, they're lacking wave clear. They're pretty much, it's very, very greedy. They're going to be really dependent on Zai having an excellent game on the Pangolier in the team fights when he gets like a Blink Dagger in particular, because versus Naga, you can just get netted until you get Blink.
Absolutely.
It makes it a lot harder to play.
They have a lot of trust in that Pango, picking it as early as they did in the draft. And as you mentioned, TNC, have reacted to that. They've got ways to answer to it. And we'll see how the lane set up mid lane. CCNC. It nearly gets the courier there. This gets brought in and gets a punch from CCNC, but Armel says it was just a bit of a bait, so he could get a couple more right clicks onto the PL.
So the big positive for me in this game is probably, for Optic at least, is 33. Him as well, besides the Pangolier. His Pango, it's all about like the mid-game team and stuff. 33 on the clockwork. If he can get an early timing on the Blade Mail, that's going to be very, very good versus the Raven Gyrocopter, as well as maybe even like the Timbersaw / Lash. A lot of uncontrollable damage that's coming out between them. And Zai's trying to make sure that 33 has a good game. He's constantly pulling this bottom wave and manipulating it.
And sort of looking at the drafts as well, do you think it was TNC's plan always to have the Lesh in the support role, or was that a reaction to what Optic drafted, do you think?
I think they like it more in the support role. Yeah. I think the 2 times they've played it before, I think maybe 2 times, at least once before they have played it, and it was relegated to support.
We do have a quite potent lane up here, the two of them. I mean, these mass stuns between Sam H and Cuckoo, if they find an opportunity to jump in to the Lone Druid, if they can get close to the main hero. Mid lane CS at the moment. The 3 CCNC. And for 1, pretty much even between these 2 heroes.
How are they going to kill this Timber? Like, the Disruptor's going to be okay for it, but he's going to have a hood pretty early on in this game, so... Situation where, like, in the last time he played this, he just controls that whole early game.
Trying to get aggressive here with the battery yourself, but Tim's in there. Holds back the clockwork, and we'll just simply turn their attention towards Tim's. So now Tim's going to want a bit of trouble, but top lane's that's going to be where first blood is. Cuckoo finishes it off. So Optic Gaming will get the kill down bottom, but not before TNC make the play up top and get first blood, taking down PPD. CS, who's suffering the most. We'll see at the moment on Raven's Gyro.
Yeah, he's getting
a little behind.
Because of the manipulations from the waves that Zai's been doing, and he's actually gone for Heart Piercer early on. So this game, Heart Piercer could also be extremely relevant versus both that Timbersaw as well as the Gyrocopter, setting them down to 0 during its duration. Could be a really strong thing we have to be able to watch out for in that mid game.
Mid lane matchup continuing to be pretty much dead even between
top lane again.
CCNC, another attempt. On to the disruptor. BPD into trouble. He's got the lighting from Cuckoo. Finishes him off. This lane, as I say, these 2 heroes, if they get any sort of catch, they will absolutely be able to burst down a disruptor at this stage. The Lesh and Sankin combo.
They're still farming really well on Optic. 13-10 on the clockwork. Some of those are cogs, but 18 on Pyken.
The bear. It would be a lovely bit of 300 gold if they can get it, and they can. Tasty little extra bonus there for Cuckoo. Zai will come in with a shield crash, start to force Sam H away. Cuckoo and Sam will be fine. Very, very tasty bit of gold to be picked up there for Cuckoo's Lash.
Yeah, Cuckoo might actually be able to just rush Arcane Boots, which is going to allow them to put a lot more pressure on that top lane.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's queued it up. 100 gold away. As you say, that is really going to allow TNC to keep that pressure high up top lane between just the 2 of them. See how Zion, this Pango, can sort of react to this shifting pressure across the map and have some sort of a force himself.
Yeah.
As he has got the levels, but still yet to really find a place to make a big impact.
Raven and Sam H are still suffering in the last hits, and 33 trying to get aggressive down bottom again, but this time he might get turned on mid lane.
Looking for Armel, bottom lane indeed, 33. He takes it home and misses.
He misses the Timber Chain, Armel. He's pretty tanky though, but the Tower Piercer wore off. They will be able to clean him up with the final lance.
These kills happening at the same time in multiple lanes, back and forth in this laning stage. Tims will come through, look to pick up some of the XP whilst Armel is dead. 5 minutes in, 3 for 2. Very close, but certainly the biggest worry on the map being for Raven at the moment, as he is slightly behind on CS.
Yeah.
Top lane, another go though. To Pycat, found the burrow strike here. Cuckoo has the lightning slope. Pycat's still alive for now. Cuckoo can't quite get in range for the final touch. He'll turn his attention towards PPD though. He'll run for that one instead. Lightning into the double stun. PPD getting held down and bursted. Cuckoo having a big impact on this top lane. Hold on. Zai looking for the body blocks onto Tims to buy time and space for 33 to come through. Raven will be there. Now the pops are down. Tims. Can they get Zai in return? Looks like they're not going to be enough. Stick charges saves up now. Raven, he's in trouble as well. 33 looking to give him the rundown. Raven getting himself behind that tower. 33 is starting to tank. His CPs are coming through. The swashbuckles are off the mark. The cogs are. 33 finds the kill with the cogs and will get himself out to safety.
Optic's doing a great job in the bottom lane. Level 4 already on Zai, level 5 on this Clockwork, and this is what we're mentioning. They're trying to make sure that 33 has an excellent start so that he can just get that early blade mail probably and cause a lot of pressure on the map to make space for Pycat Lone Druid. Let's be fair, Pycat again.
Going in again. Last time they were unable to finish it off. Can they get him this time? The Savage Roar will save Pi for now, but he's incredibly low. Cuckoo looking for the wraparound. Just seeing how much he's getting done with his lightning and stone combination. PPD's in trouble. There's the... Here's the PPD from Sam H and Cuckoo. Mid lane arm out. Timber chains away. But it really does seem that this combination of the Lash and the Zanging now, in fact, Pycat, Sam H, he's found him out. Going for the Sandstorm. He's going to be able to get that kill too. This top lane for TNC causing so many issues for Optic Gaming.
It's almost a level 6 Lash at 7 minutes in the game. It's actually higher level than Sam H. Zai's now going to have to try to come top and make space for this, since 33 is, for the most part, secured down bottom. PPD actually had to, or somebody actually canceled their TP that they were trying to react to top.
Instant D-ward as well there for TNC as Zai pops it down under the sentry. Tim's getting trapped up by the cogs. 33 trying to move from the battery assault. The homing missiles in. Raven trying to turn it with the root and the rocket barrage. They're going to have a good chance of getting this kill, and they will. TNC able to turn things around onto 33 as he gets a little too aggressive on his own on the clock.
2K gold lead for TNC now, 7 minutes in. Even though the last hits for Optic are still favorable.
Getting these big kills. And good kills here for TNC. Top Pycat really has to be careful. And a very scary lane that this has proven to be.
Yeah, they just have so much mana, like 805 mana on the left track. With those arcane boots, they even have a bottle, so the sustain is there for them to always go for those kills, go for that pressure. Zai's pretty much having to be just the bailout for Optic, running between lane and lane, but he can only do so much.
So as I can find, if anything, down in there. Do nearly have the level 6 on 33. The hook shot that we're able to find a good chance of closing the gaps. Getting stuck in. Mid lane arm out, starting to break ahead of CCNC.
Very close though. CCNC's actually doing a pretty damn good job in the mid lane with that one rotation from Zai to secure it. Zai trying to farm out this triple stack with that DD rune. Able to clean up most of it actually.
Top lane TNC getting some good pressure onto the tower now. Already down to half health with the way that they've been able to shove it in. And pressure that wave right back against Pycat.
Cuckoo now level 6. So even more damage coming out of this dual lane up top. Pulse Nova is a lot of damage when you get it this early on, 100 each second.
TPs are coming in, Cuckoo's come pretty deep in. 33 with that TP's got the hook shot. Cuckoo will be caught out. Optic, the quick rotation from the Clockwork, able to punish TNC's aggression.
I think they have to rotate one extra hero when they're going for those type of dives. Because like Pycat is he's the key to their success in this game. Has to have good farm. And the Hood already finished up now on our mount.
Tim's trying to just push Zai away. Yeah, we're seeing that mid laner, nearly a 1k difference between the two. It's getting scarier and scarier for CCNC to come forward towards that Timber when Armel's mana's up.
Raven's completely caught back up. They put a decent amount of pressure on this gyrocopter in the laning phase, but as soon as Zai has to try to fix and alleviate the pressure on the other lanes, that's where they get the kills on 33, and they're able to actually get this gyrocopter back online.
He's keeping himself the opposite side of the cogs, but the cogs will now disappear. They're closing out with the rocket barrage and the riptide punching into him. Jackson will connect, he tries for the hook shot. He gets himself out of there.
The Cogs getting like 3 pushbacks there. TNC.
Top lane though, Cuckoo. He's got spin up on BD Samson as well. Zai will jump over the swashbuckle, gets the 2-man shield crack. Pretty tanky. Can he find kills off the back of this? Sam H splits up. He heads down with the burrow strike, gets himself away from Pycat, and up top Cuckoo will continue to run, but here comes Zai. He'll roll in the once, he's looking for the double bounce play, can he get back in there? He needs another, and the swashbuckle's going to be off the mark from Zai, so Cuckoo is able to just walk himself away.
They both survive. 3K gold lead now, TNC.
Certainly having the upper hand at the back of this laning stage, which as sort of was the worries of the panel. The greed from Optic in terms of their heroes was always going to be open to this sort of punishment, and TNC have executed against it.
They've got Disruptor ulti now, so now maybe this is where they could look to actually make some more aggressive plays. Still that cooldown on Pango ult though for 30 seconds. And Zai's actually going for at least 1 Javelin to start off here to make up for the fact that, you know, he's going to have to be that like damage dealer in this early game because they've got a lone druid, they've got a PL. These heroes take time before they can get on the aggressive. They need that first item in particular for the PL, that defusal, before he can actually do too much.
Those Javelin procs are going to be super nice, especially against the Timbersaw.
So here comes the smoke. They're actually going to bring Pycat in with it too.
Okay.
Since he's got that Dominator, he's got a Centaur Conqueror.
Now this is, you know, what you talk about when you're at this point. That battle cry, it's a lot of damage between the 3 of those units. And let's see what they can find. 33 will be able to set up the hook shot.
Yeah, the Pycat rotation's also because they don't have a tower hitter behind that lone champ, besides that lone druid. So if they can get a big kill, they can actually threaten the tower in mid.
Yeah, look at the CCNC. They have the homing missile inbound. CCNC with Doppelganger available though. They'll easily be able to jump himself up to the high ground. 4 members of TNC toward the mid lane, and Optic are starting to approach, but smoke will wear off.
They've got their big ultis, Disruptor ult plus Pango.
See what they can find here. CCNC, they're already in trouble. They've got to help this man out. The PL falling quickly. Zai comes in, but immediately gets rooted. Tries to get himself out of this all with the cooldown. Bringing him low, he's chased down. Zai will fall. They lose the Naga Siren on the back of it all. So 1 for 1. And see, Sam H is already hunting for more. Gets the burrow drop onto 33. Armel and Raven close the gap. TNC get a second out of the engagement and will finish off the tier 1 tower. And that's the play that Optic Gaming were looking for. That's the
interaction that we're talking about, right? It's like the Naga versus Pango. If you don't have a Blink Dagger, it's very hard to actually get successful ultimates off.
Yeah, instant root. Coming from the net.
Armel.
EPD, the few damage on the last fight. He's got the field, that's it.
Yeah, he's fine.
It's not enough, not nearly enough damage to even try and tackle this Timbersaw.
And it's like, they still only have that level 1 Heart Piercer. Once they get the higher levels of it, you could see that, you know, the negation of the armor be a big factor, but level 1 only lasts like 2 seconds or so. Optic needs more time. Already a 5K gold lead for TNC.
TNC crushing it. Armel just getting bigger and bigger. This massive threat, looking to cure the Yule Scepter next, of course. So
yeah, when you're playing versus Disruptor, usually that's the item of choice, so you can negate a lot of that silence and damage.
Buy yourself that little bit of extra time.
TNC. Look at the build that Sam H has gone for too. Treads into Vanguard. He wants to be a bit of that frontliner too to try to protect Raven. He's done this a few times.
And then from CCNC, he's dead. Straight up, Sam H able to go for the walk-in burrow strike from the tree line, and CCNC was not ready for that one. TNC getting some heavy pressure on the tier 2 tower, 14 minutes in, and Optic, their lineup, very little they can do to stop this sort of early play. A lot of damage being done. Got TP inside.
They're finding Raven though.
The Static Storm back up. Raven with 4. Can Cuckoo find anything in return? He's coming into the mid, he's taking a lot of damage here himself though. There's the play coming through from Sam H. They'll still lose a second. Zai gets the rolling further off Optic Gaming. Looking to make sure this trade favors them. They've got the control over the Timbersaw, but do they have the damage? They're hunting him, but the swashbuckle bringing him low. Jump over the shield crash, they get the glimpse back. They already want this Timbersaw. Fighting back hard. They'll look towards Sam H as well. He's going to have the burst back in a second, and the song's there from Tims anyway. Holds them back. Savage will be able to TP out, but Optic Gaming punching back hard against TNC and getting that big kill, taking Armel's Timbersaw out as well as Raven and Cuckoo.
Zai coming in clutch, getting that
amazing what you found.
Perfect control with the Rolling Thunder.
Yeah.
That Heart Piercer just kind of like also playing a factor there too, so they can get a little bit more damage, but the heavy rotations too. TNC getting a bit too overzealous there.
Perfect spot for Zai to make that play indeed, between the river and the cliff. Perfect opportunities to bounce around with the Rolling Thunder.
And Optic, they're looking to fight again, but this time they smoke under the vision of TNC. They do have their ultis up in about 10 seconds though. The scan actually comes out and catches Optic. TNC are positioned on the high ground here.
You don't want to come up here, Optic Zai. He's going to try though. Goes in with the swashbuckle, goes for Rolling Thunder, jumps in, but immediately gets rooted. Tim's there into control. If they surround Zai, the swashbuckle himself down to the low ground. 33 looks for a hook shot opportunity to get himself out of there, but quick with the timber chain. Armel picks up the kill. They'll chase down Zai. TNC reading Optic Gaming like a book.
With that deep ward, they saw the smoke movement, so they just sat on the high ground, and now PPD knows. He's like, yep, they knew he smoked.
14-9, TNC keeping that lead going. 6K in their advantage. Tier 2's gone mid. Top lane, the Tier 2 not looking too great.
TNC.
This really is the sort of style that we've seen TNC really succeed with in the early stages. And they're pulling it off here again on the main stage. A team that's incredibly good at keeping their cool at the earlier stages. The later stages are definitely the testing ground for TNC.
Sure is. 33 has, he had the Blade Mill queued up for a while. He went for like an urn, a bracer in between, and he's actually just queued up the Spirit Vessel. So they want to double down to be sure that they can actually kill Armel, because he's been such a nuisance on this Timber.
Fine, as you say, 200 now from the Radiance's Relic. TNC, we'll see what the next point of call is going to be in terms of a play. Ravens, BKB, very close, so.
I'm really curious why Sam H decides to go for this Vanguard this game too. Maybe eventually he'll build it into that Crimson Guard versus PL, which can be very effective. But the reason, when I saw him play the Sanking in one of the other games and he did this build, they didn't have a frontliner. This time they have the Timber, so it's a bit different. Bottom tower getting shredded.
Working out. So sure, Sam H, he's in with the burst strike. Does get glimpsed back. We've got the real onto Pie Cap, but no real follow straight away. Cuckoo. He's doing the poke in though with the stun, the magical damage. He's trying to chase down Pie. The root's there immediately right back. The fourth forward. He's trying to close the gap. It's not going to be enough. Standing Storm onto Cuckoo. He runs his way out of it. He'll turn his attention towards PPD instead. Has the lightning and the stun. Armel cuts him down as well. On the back of it all, 33 was able to close the gap onto Tims, but now 33. He's in pretty deep and he's all alone. He'll put the cogs up, but the homing missile comes forward, and they have the burst to take down another double kill for Armel. TNC punishing Optic for pushing out as such. Couldn't quite get Pycat. That would have been the dream one, but TNC, they'll still be happy with that.
Like some of the times we see like Hood, or the Dominator's usually around like 5 minutes, and the Radiance comes out between like that 15 and 17 minute mark. It's almost 20 minutes and he's still 1,000 gold behind. But TNC is putting a lot of pressure on Optic. TNC has actually pulled ahead of Pycat.
And Zai with his build, as you said, that he would have to do so.
He needs to get a Blink Dagger.
He's going straight for it.
When you're playing versus like these Nagas or these heroes that can like, even Clockwork, the heroes that can just stop your Rolling Thunder, you have to be able to get away to just get right on top of them instantly and chain lock them down.
So especially with that clock combo. They can get that target in the cogs.
TNC, they have the BKB now on Raven. They're looking to put more pressure onto Optic. PPD.
Easy kill for TNC.
Yeah, Cuckoo forced him forward. And now they're threatening these two bottom towers. Optic.
He's wandering out of it. Cuckoo will miss the stun. 33 is going to still get caught out by the burrow. Can they bring him down? He's pretty tanky. Jump in. They're looking for the cold play, but the colds will wear off. Zai has to bounce out. TNC taking down 33 as well.
You can see it's like these three heroes just trying to make all the space in the world for this BO and Lone Druid to actually be able to do something in this game because they need more time. This is what the panel mentioned. It can be very greedy when you run these two heroes. Puts a lot of pressure onto 33 as well as Zai.
We'll go for the fourth play. TP up for Ivan. He's not going to make it though. Zai with the swashbuckle.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They now have that Radiance finished on the bear.
See if they can catch anyone. 33. Looking for an opportunity.
They find Sam H when the sleep comes out.
They want to try and fight this TNC. And thinking about it, they do have the epicenter and the cooldown. If they want to go for this, they'll drop the cooldown. Both strikes not going to connect onto anybody. They'll look towards 33's rooted, held down. Raven has no missile coming in. Onto the clockwork. TNC. Catch out 33.
That was a beautiful sleep by Tims.
And they're all out of there as
and
well.
they're instantly going for top. I like it.
They're going to catch him off guard. He does not expect this instant play off the back of the triple TP. He has got the sound draw. He's looking for Sam H for the home missile. He's in jumps Armel for the party. As TNC getting a huge pick off there. Pycat a lot of weight on his lone druid to keep this game going with those split plays. TNC, they're able to punish him.
He stayed just a bit too long. He secured the tower and he stayed there for a moment. And this is the TNC that we know and love lately.
It is. This is
non-stop aggression.
This is, as I say, this is really where they're at their element.
Yeah.
And the game
straight to the pit.
Into the pit.
Precious bounty.
The gaming. Only way that they can get themselves over. They are down the lone druid. They have a great team for fighting around the pit.
Yeah.
But it looks like they won't be able to get there in time.
No.
PNC could have this Aegis for free.
Yeah, they're a bit too strong still right now for Optic to fight into. Zai's been farming a lot on this Mango. 82 last hits. He's very close to Sam H in net worth. But they have this Clockwork 33 who's been the absolute sacrificial lamb this game. 3, 8, and 5. Has Spirit Vessel finished, so it will be able to help a little bit versus the Timbersaw if he doesn't have the Yules available to purge it off. But TNC still just seeming to run away with this one. PPD. They've got their ultis available. They're looking to catch TNC off guard. When they've got this Aegis, TNC might not be in position to actually respond. But they're all kind of moving together.
Always a hard smoke to make for the Aegis of a gyrocopter. Optic doesn't look like they'll find anything with it. At least not over the half of TNC's map. Maybe if TNC head over a little too deep alone, could try, but doesn't look like it's going to be the case. In fact, TNC with the ones to smoke up well, and
they've been pretty far pushed up here.
Right. He's going to start to play around them. He has the Rolling Thunder. Yep. At least one stun out. And the second. Now, Raven, he's out of there. Does manage to get a BKB charge out of the gyrocopter though, Zai?
He held it for a long time too. I guess maybe he's like caught a glimpse of the disruptor there, didn't want to get pulled back. Either way, he will be fine. It's pretty hard for Optic, like getting the chain lockdown. You look at their team and they don't really have those traditional stuns. Like, you know, see, if you look at TNC, they have Sanking Stun, Lash Stun. On Optic, it's like a Hook Shot and Rolling Thunder are their real stuns. They have Disruptor ulti and whatnot and Kinetic Field, but that's not that hard lockdown.
So it'll be interesting to see if Zai can pull off these plays, because I believe, right, he's built the Yules. If you're Rolling Thunder and Yules yourself, you are still stunning those around you. I'll put you on the spot there, haven't I? I think
not a Pango expert here.
I believe you can do so, and I think, well, we'll see. I might be totally wrong.
Someone will let us know.
If you use yourself up whilst you are Rolling Thunder, I do believe you still stun those around you. So we'll see. We'll see if it comes into play. Now, this could be a a very nice little strategical way if it does work like that, to sort of hold yourself in position, and especially
it does sound like it does. That sounds like it makes sense.
We'll see if Zai comes out with some next level stuff.
Perhaps.
Are you checking if the chat says it right?
I don't know if they did. They said you can, so there you go.
They say you can?
They said you can.
Hey!
But who knows?
Thank you, chat.
We'll believe the chat. We love you guys. 33. we'll be able to be safe and TP out. Optic just trying to keep that farm going. You see they're not really making too many aggressive plays. They're just like, okay, we need to get this BKB on Phantom Lancer so he can be a real hero in this game because it's still taking some time. And this is where this is the true test for TNC, right?
It is.
Can they close the game
up
out?
a game where they have an advantage? Of course, at the moment, it's not as much of an advantage as before. Maybe that's good for TNC.
Yeah, it's not a 30K.
Maybe it's bad for TNC if they get too far ahead. Now, at the moment, they're sort of comfortably ahead. And this is where they can sort of keep the ball rolling in their favor. But
Armel, he tried for it. He got glimpsed across the base and he was about to throw the timber chain to try and jump across, but he's actually itemizing to deal with this split push because Optic, they're just trying to push these lanes out. Stone Boots of travel. What's up?
After the Meteor Hammer, we are going to have a Radiance being built up on the Naga side.
This is a TNC thing. I've seen them do this a few times when Tim's has been playing the Naga.
Yeah.
Not too much lately, but like a couple months ago, I think it was during one of the qualifiers that we casted, we saw this happening.
And I like that, because that sort of says, you know, if they do get ahead, and then they do sort of, you know, have a little bit of a casual throw, they've got sort of that Radiance Naga Siren to fall back on that's going to be constantly shoving out lanes.
Yeah, it gives them another carry, because right now they're... The Gyrocopter, this is the same course that they had yesterday, right? Gyro Timbersaw, when they lost that game with a 30K lead. So they want someone else to be able to scale is what that tells me. He could still change it up. We've seen the build be like the Blink, Meteor Hammer, or Aghanims a few of the times, but I actually do like the Radiance a lot this game if you guys are able to get it. It's going to be really nice versus the PL as well to deal with those illusions.
Yeah, because the pace has certainly slowed down a bit. We saw TNC get this sort of 6-7K lead. They are now going to try and push down bottom.
Yeah, it seems like they were waiting for the MKV to be finished on Raven. And now they've got the Crimson Guard 2 from Samage with the fight.
Let's see how much they can get away with it. Tier 3 tower.
Look at this tanking. 2100 HP.
He's pretty tanky. Zai coming in with the roll.
Yeah, look, there you go.
Look at that. There we go. Next level stuff. Get an extra stun out. Zai's a smart man. Won't get them the kill, but we're seeing the potential here. The Yule's Pango plays. The glimpse back onto Raven. Still have the Aegis. Shot, 33, looking to kick things off. Gets the knock back on to Cuckoo, but an instant song comes out from Tims. TNC want to try and take this fight there, that's the question. Doesn't look like it, they're trying to get out. Cuckoo.
Okay.
Scepter. They've got the vision, and Optic will be able to punish TNC in the form of Cuckoo's death. The rest of TNC do, however, get out.
Optic slows it down more.
Creating space, of course. Get these lanes pushed back out.
Yeah, Pycat was able to get, what, like 800 damage on the tower? Pretty similar to how much TNC did. And now look at top. They're looking for Armel here.
All they can find. Zai trying to play around with him. He's got the Yules to buy time for the rest of the team to come through. Armel going for the TP out. That's not going to work. They've got many gaps for that. Now, Savage Roar. The Rolling Thunder coming in as well. They're holding him down, and Armel has to go for the Bloodstone Deny.
Optic's starting to punch back in here. Zai's putting in so much work. 4-2-4 on this Pango, level 17. He's top 5 net worth as well. He's catching up to his big chorus.
I'm liking the way he's playing, the way he's built as well. The Javelin, Blink, and the Yules, as we're seeing, a lot of way to sort of catch out, have that extra stun as well if he wants to go for that sort of play. And once he has the Lincoln, very hard for TNC to deal with this Pango rolling around in the fights. That's for sure. And Tims, he does change it up. He's actually
going to
go for the full mech.
I think they want to close the game out.
Okay. Let's see if they can pull it off, TNC.
Dive. They did see him with that ward there. They're looking to try to punish him. Gets stunned up.
The first opening with that. They should have him. I mean, he's got the self-fuel. He'll try and swatch bucket his way out. Is it actually going to be enough? He jumps himself across the trees. They're hunting. They'll have him. TNC in the catch. And groups up as 5.
And now with that mech delivered, they've got Crimson Guard, they've got Pipe, they've got mech. Zai's wants the Zai buyback.
Yeah, Optic know that they can't let TNC get away with the racks at this stage. They want to keep TNC in this position where they are struggling to sort of break the base of Optic. The full 5-man they can go for it. Zai jumps in, they put the static still down. Tims in a lot of trouble here on the Naga turn. He will fall. Naga Siren down. But Optic will be forced back. That was the BKB used as well for CCNC, so now on cooldown.
That's the Rolling Thunder too. Their big team fight spells on cooldown.
Put the sentry down, they've got Idol Samage, but in the center, Samage is so tanky.
Besides that railing, but that gets foot pushing.
He is. He's trying for the racks. The fortification will come out from TNC. TNC, can they actually get back to hold this, or are they just going to let it go? It looks like they're just going to let it go. They don't want to stick around here, because they know that they have the mass numbers in the base. And that bomb rouse for TNC will fall. Pycat, successful for the rat. Somewhere in a distant land, you can hear a bulldog giving it a bit of a giggle as the lone druid push is successful. TNC as well do manage to get the melee racks in return, but it cost them a whole lot more. As Optic Gaming showing TNC that they have to be aware of the rat. A full rack's wiped out by Pycat.
They have to just prioritize Zai in these team fights. Like, who cares about anybody else? You have to get rid of this Pango. As soon as Zai dies, you see that they feel a lot more confident in the fight. Their building damage is pretty limited still for now, though. They're going straight toward top. They want to be able to stop that advantage that Optic's going to have with the creeps up top, so probably going for that Rax, but they are smoked, and Roche is going to be respawning right now.
TNC. The Shiva's Guard as well, and arm out.
They draw a circle right around Optic, too.
See where they can find it. 33 and keep themselves back. CCNC is up front.
They see him right now, too, with the ward.
And they jump in. They'll go in with the first strike. CCNC. Quick kill there from TNC.
They've got to keep this pace up. They've got to go for this high ground push. There's no glyph available. They have to commit in.
Pi is starting to get that push on the bottom and with his lone druid, but we'll see how he reacts to this one. CCNC buys back. Optic try their best to hold it, but TNC, they've taken the tier 3 tower. Onto the barracks.
They need to keep as many illusions and stuff running in so they can tank the heat quickly. Zai now committing in.
He's getting the run in front of 33 for the control to do 2's able to get himself forced out of there. Now on CNC down. CCNC pops the BKB, trying to commit, but the root comes through. CCNC had to double gang out of it and back away. Pycat indeed has come in from the back. See if he can get involved. In fact, that's not the way he wants to get involved in Burrow Strike. And now the Song Tings. They're not going to fight though, TNC. It's going to be a Song and a disengage as they'll all team themselves out of there.
PPD actually, he walked into the range of the sleep. I think he could have at least gotten a glimpse on the Tims there. I think he wanted to get a bigger target is what it looked like. He tried to get into the backlines, but missing out on a kill there because of that. TNC full disengage after getting that tier 3.
There's another tower down. TNC still continuing to grow the lead.
Optic trying to catch them before they hit the base this time. They're smoking.
And this is crucial timing where Roshan is up and available for both sides. Optic.
And they get the wraparound here. They're going all the way around. TNC in a very defensive stance.
See what they can find here. Great position for a hook shot, but arm out. Comes across, Samage has the power strike. They're focusing the clockwork hit 33. Able to force himself out inside. Will be fine. CCNC trying to get stuck inside. Jump forward for the rolling thunder. They've got the static storm down as well. BKB from Ravens pop. He hides himself away from the side. Backs away. Samage. But that Crimson Guard still incredibly tanky. No one to fall as of yet. The Bear taking quite a bit of a beating.
SMH's build is actually working out so well for them, how tanky they really are once he pops both of those. Negates majority of Optic's damage, and Optic, they wanted to get something out of that. They'll at least be able to clear a shrine, but...
They are slowly taking control of this area, man. They've got the 2 opposites down as well, so good vision if they do want to try and go for that Roshan. Still no Song available, so Optic can play with that in mind.
The next big timing is coming up for Raven's Gyro now, though. Got the MKB, he's got the BKB. Butterfly's about to be done, so that physical damage is going to get even more reduced.
TNC, this 7k lead, but Optic's certainly showing us that this game is a close one. Optic have ways to play around, and they have to be constantly aware if you're TNC of split push potential of Pycat. Yeah. And the side lane's pushed in with the Bear. He has the Mask of Madness as well now for that extra bit of siege potential. If he gets his hands onto the high ground of TNC.
Optic. Would be the ideal place for them to fight with that rolling thunder from Pango in the pit.
I can get in.
He's got a Lincoln's now too, so he can block out that net.
The question is if they can get into the pit. TNC playing very careful.
Raven still hasn't committed entirely for that butterfly. Has the gold for it.
And with a set of racks down and Itsu taking down the bottom, it's definitely a game where dying without buyback could be very, very hurtful for TNC, even though they have this 7k lead. Keep that jar for the defenses.
Podcat's going full in for the split push here. Has the AC finish and has queued up a Desolator as his next item. So it's all about that building siege.
It really is. Pi has had a taste for the barracks of TNC, and he certainly wants more. The pit again, TNC. Feeling a bit more confident now. The Pi cap is elsewhere, pushing out these lanes. Roshan's falling. Are Optic Gaming going to be able to contest this? TNC. Going out with inside the sleep. They're popping the song. Zai, he is into the pit. They're going to chase one of the third. Can they get a steal? Oh, TNC will get it. They get Roshan. They get the Aegis. Optic Gaming unable to interrupt the play from TNC.
Beautiful song there by Tim, so securing that one. Even though he can't net the Pango in those situations because the Lincolns, it disrupts everyone else from coming in.
CCNC has been hunted. They've got the duel set up. Have they got a stun to lock him down? Kinetic Field will be there from PPD, trying to hold back TNC to save CCNC. And it will be enough to do so. CCNC will be fine.
Quackhead kills a Shrine. He didn't want to go for that bottom tower, just at risk of dying if he does show. TNC's still in a pretty comfortable position here.
They do have this Aegis. They have the cheese.
I mean, they really just have to watch out. They pretty much have to keep their lanes in good spots, because if they get into a fight that's bad and Pycat's in a great position to push, he's going to kill those towers extremely fast.
It's getting to a point where, yeah, TNC can't get back. Pi can go straight for tier 4s even, once he has the Deso, AC, and Mask of Madness. There is always that constant threat, the Lone Druid.
Armel's about to have Aghanim stun on this Timber. Gotta make their burst a lot scarier.
Aghanim's is done for Sam H.
All right, so he's just, yeah, no blink. You know, the distance from Sanking Stun is going to be great there anyway.
I mean, yeah, as we've seen, you can really feel that this is a Sanking without blink because he still had such an impact without. I mean, he just doesn't need it.
He's 4-0 and 14.
Yeah, he's playing amazing.
Yeah. Him and Cuckoo put a lot of pressure on that top lane. Zai constantly starting to cut this top wave, making sure that they can have a decent creep equilibrium.
Doing up another fire next as well, Zai.
Yeah.
Extra way to address these big cores at TNC.
Stop those BKBs, purge off the Yule Scepter, try to find some catches.
TNC 3400 on his way towards Biscardi. Optic Gaming almost certainly going to have to answer for this soon. Zai does manage to cut off the creep wave, but at the same time they managed to find CCNC and they're stripping him with the stuns. The roots, he'll get the doppelganger off in time. BKB as he runs himself away.
The missile actually went to PPD though because of that.
And PPD now. Static Storm's down, but then it's walked through it. PPD's dead. And now TNC, they're in onto the racks.
And Pycat's going in toward bottom now.
He's trying as quickly as he can, Pi, to push that bottom lane. Fortification will come out from Optic, but it will not be enough to save these middle racks. As TNC...
They're going for the Megas. The back door, though, has kicked in. They have no creeps.
He's managing to get the tier 3 down. Fortification comes out. Now Zai's going to look to cancel TPs. He's looking for Sam H. He's got the Yules on the run. This rolling thunder, making it very hard for TNC to actually get out of here.
Pycat's getting the racks.
He is. He's got himself a second rack. TNC don't get jumped upon. TNC, they want to take the fight. They're not about the rack gaming, they're just about the ball, killing and fighting and murdering, and that's CCNC down for 90 seconds. Pi is trying to finish the game. Armel will TP back and he does get in, so he'll be able to slow things down as TNC. They'll go straight for the tier 4s themselves. Straight away. Can Optic Gaming actually stop this? There's no CCNC for 80 seconds. Buyback from Cuckoo. 33 chasing down, he gets the cogs onto Tims. Tims turns with the brew. Zai jumping forward with the swashbuckle, has the Yules control onto Tims. Shield crash Comes into play, Cuckoo coming back in off the back of that buyback, TPing in to join the fight, and the stun onto 33. Raven moves in as well, 33. Is he getting himself away from this one? He'll pop down the Cox, but he's trapped in with Sam. He'll look to chase them back out of the bonus track. They've got the kill. Zai jumps in, rolling thunder, bouncing between the two of them. Will be able to pop the edges out of the hands of Raven. Buyback from 33 and CCNC as it is now available for the BL as they'll look to get stuck into this fight. Optic, Zai starting to draw TNC's attention away. Zai able to shield crash himself away from the split up.
He's got the blink away.
And he should be out of it. That little too slippy for them to catch.
Amazing what you're finding laying around.
So Optic Gaming, this is the situation. They take that melee Rex down mid. They also get a tier 4 tower, but they do lose the full set of their own. And in the mid lane.
How many buybacks from them was that too?
Courier down here from Zai. Manages to catch it out.
Zai's everywhere.
He is. But a very, very close game still. This 7k lead, but that 7k lead has been there for the majority of this game. It hasn't got any bigger or any smaller. As the game has certainly settled in at a position as we're seeing where one mistake could cost either side the match at this stage.
Yeah. I mean, TNC's probably pretty lucky here that they have this tier 2 tower up outside the base. Otherwise, that could have looked like they would have got getting all 3 Rexes down.
Some big pickups as well now for Optic. Blink Dagger done for 33. Nullify complete for Zai. Shadowblade for TCNC.
This looks like it's the, we're going to try to stop your TP's items, right? The Blink Dagger in particular on the clock, but just try to catch them when they're backing up to react to Pycat split push.
Cam from Optic will confirm. TNC are here in the jungle. TNC themselves going for a smoke play. With a Company on the side, one lane now. Warmel, they have the rid as well with the rolling thunder. Yule's play getting that extra stuff. There's time to self-kill. Kanam will get himself out of it. Will be able to keep alive for now. Pops the choose. Now they're looking to turn around. CCNC, they found Pycat.
Pycat's got no buyback.
He's dead for 70 seconds. CCNC is what he brought back. If he dies, he's going to be gone for a long, long time, and he is. 100 seconds, no PL. 2 huge kills for TNC. As they are there to back up Armel as Optic Gaming going too heavy-handed onto the Timbersaw. And they can't kill him.
He had the cheese, so he gets the Yules off, instantly pops that cheese, and his rest of his team. They knew it was coming too. They got this successful scan in the backlines there. They just really wanted to come in for the kill. TNC, can they get this final Rax though?
See what they can do. They're actually going to be able to find maybe more here. Zai is outside of the base. 33 jumps forward with the bonus drive, but Samek not enough to catch out Zai. Cogs are up here from 33 as he tried to get himself away. Quick Yules from Zai means that the Meteor Hammer challenging is cancelled, and 33 will be able to get himself away.
25 seconds till Pycat's up. You see the line is drawn, TNC.
They really want to try and do something whilst this PL is dead.
Yeah, Raven's running back to base, healing up. He draws the line for his team. He's like, I'm going to get Boots of Travels. I'm going to join. We need to end this game out right now.
Look at this. No
funny business.
Top lane shoving in this one. So all 3 lanes are pushed in. Making sure that even when Pycat's back in 10, there's not going to be any sort of easy chance for him to begin to wrap. As TNC.
No glyph.
Tower is under attack.
Let's see how much they can get away with in these last 30 seconds where Optic Gaming will just be as a 4-man. It's top lane in a lot of trouble. TNC.
Should be able to get the Megas here.
They absolutely should. The hammer's down. Zai is going to jump forward. Nullifier onto the gyro. Comes in with a rolling thunder. Oh no! Actually blocks 33's hook shot. 33 will still fight the cock, but now he's in a bit of an awkward position. Jumps off the line. That's 33 down in 70 seconds. Zai was rolling and 33 is going to be hitting. What TNC can get done now, they know.
Range Rax is bottom. They have to clean this one up too for that
They
Megas.
want those Megas. Is there any way that Optic Gaming can stop them? That's the question. They have the Nullifier down onto Cuckoo. They've taken the Lesh out, but the Racks are down. They
Pycat finds the DD.
TNC with the huge advantage now. PPD unable to get the glimpse in time. TNC reset. Looks to wait until Cuckoo's back in. Question is if Optic can do anything whilst there is 1 member down on TNC.
They're looking to run down mid. Side lanes are going to start getting pushed in a lot once those Megas hit.
Gold!
14k lead for TNC. These mega creeps starting to spawn. Out they go. Good that speed. I mean, already TNC looking to have just worked on a lot of the issues that they seem to have had previously in other games. This time round, the itemization, the way that they've been making these plays, taking these objectives, has been a whole lot cleaner than what we've seen from TNC in some of these other longer games. But still, there is that little risk, that chance that Optic Gaming could find the opportunity.
This is their one big push. They have to go for something big here.
He's going to try and push back Armel here with the Cox on the side, though. PPD's been caught out. There's Disruptor on the front lines. He's got.
They're trying to make space for Pycat to go into the base, but Pycat is spotted.
He is. Straight away, they've got the roof. The meteor armor coming down onto the left. He's going to the tier 4. He's going to pop his line. Pycat gets cut down. 75 seconds without the lone druid. The Ancient may be exposed, but in that 70 seconds, TNC will be sure to push back hard.
Invisibility.
Bottom wave and top wave, pushing in heavily.
They are just making...
You see all the desperate
big movement down mid
all these like small items now being purchased last minute, because this is where the game could just end. See even a blast picked up by CNC.
Roshan would be the ideal pickup. It is nearly there.
3 seconds.
A few seconds and they would have had Roshan for this push.
But there's no Pycat for 40. They have to take advantage of that.
Absolutely. They'll look towards Zai. Zai with the Lincolns will be able to get himself away.
Flip is available for Optic.
They still have the 2 tier 4 towers. Is it going to be enough to hold for long enough? TNC, they're going in outside. Will jump in. They found Armella on the front of it. Static Storm down as well. CCG will be getting trying to again. The rolling thunder side gets the start of the Crimson Glass. The force is there. Armella will be fine for now. Jump forward, Burrow strike for Samage. Catches it out. CCNC. CCNC trying to get himself back towards the base, and he will be back in the fountain. But TNC,
they're focusing buildings.
They've pushed Optic back. They've found the tier 4 towers. They're looking towards the Ancient. Fortification comes out. Pycat will be back up in 2 seconds. Is it going to be soon enough to stop this push from TNC? The Ancient's exposed. TNC, they found CCNC. The Planet Blast is down for 80 seconds. Pycat get it rooted. Can Optic really hold without their Falcon Lancer? He's getting control of Savage with the Burrow Strike is in, and TNC have done it. They'll take down Optic in mod.
You can see this time though the difference between yesterday. They felt the pressure for a moment. They were like, wow. We can't let this game get to the stages that it did like yesterday, and they were a lot more keen on the itemization in particular.
Absolutely.
Raven having much different items this time around, not going for like these, like the Lincolns or anything. He goes for more this pure damage, as well as you saw Tim's. We mentioned the Radiance. No, he was like, we need this mech. We need to end the game. We can't let Optic do this split push shenanigans.
This is very refreshing to see from TNC. I mean, we saw this. They got their early lead. This is TNC style. They get this advantage. But then it sort of settles. It's